So in this video, I'm going to show you how to add an x variable to our simple monster. Now it's simple because even though these look like triangles, actually it's an arc. And you can kind of tell if you look really closely because the edge of that tooth is rounded. So there's so many different ways you can do things in computer science. It's just a matter of finding which way you're going to go. So let's start. Our first step is always you have to create the variable. So we're going to create our variable var, because that keyword var creates the variable and makes it for us. We then have to give it a name. So I'm going to use x position. And then I'm going to set it to 200. So that way x position has a value of 200. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is figure out where we're actually going to place our items. Now I should know that the parameters for fill, so what these numbers actually mean, are RGB, so the amount of red, green, and blue. The parameters for an ellipse is x, y, width, and height. So the coordinates, and then the width and height. And arc is actually quite similar. So if I go to my documentation and take a look, I see an arc is x, y, width, and height, and the stop and the starting point of my arc. And of course, if I don't know these functions, I can always just have a little bit of a play around. See what happens when you change a number. So I can see that one moves the arc. And on that side, this one moves it on this side. Alright, so that one is going to be x, y with height, start, and stop. So I know I can ignore my fill because there is no x, and my y is the first number. So first number, 200, has a value. Well, if I know it's 200 is the same as my x position, so I can just sub in x position directly. Nothing changed. So if I give this a wiggle, my face now moves with it. Okay, so my next ellipse, this one is 150. So I want to find out the difference. So 200 minus 150 gives me a difference of 50. This value is smaller, so I got to take away. So this then is x position minus 50. And then this one is 250. So I know 250 has a difference of 50. And it's bigger, so I have to add. So this one would be x position plus 50. And you'll see if I just put an x position, it goes to the center of the screen. So we have to add in our offset of 50. So we always want to test it. Yeah, it's moving left and right. Just need our mouth and our teeth in place. And so it's an arc. So it's 153. I'm going to be a bit cheeky. I'm going to make that 150. Change my number so the math is a little bit simpler. So I know 150. We've done that math before. I have to take away 50. So it's x position minus 50. I might make that number 2 as well. I might make my teeth number the same values. They look identical. So all I've done there is I've just made the start and stop of the arc the same as the other tooth, so they're symmetrical. Here it's 230, so I know I have to add 230, so that's x position plus 30. If I test my code, and just putting everything kind of back together again, if I test my code, the whole face should move left and right. Fantastic, it works. So what else can you add to this monster so that way you can make it your own?